Hello there. Um, I hope you like this one. This is it really is truly one of my favourite ones. It happened in 1952. It was probably one of the most populous and documented one going then. But it seemed odd because when they did this thing in Washington a few years ago, where they spoke about UFOs and what have you, they kept saying about this Tic Tac one they saw recently and some more and on about Roswell. But the odd thing about it, they've never mentioned this one yet. This one was not actually seen; it was recorded. It was with technology and everything. What we're going, even 1952, but it was still, impressive. Yeah, it's odd that this one just goes under the, the radar, and that's what picked them up. Anyway, July, not anything to do, speak words out. 19th of July, 1952, seven flying saucers UFOs were spotted over Washington. I think 15 miles west, and one, and then seven came together. Seven bright saucer-shaped objects, all like I say, all very orangey looking colour. That's what they were described as. Anyway, three air traffic controllers picked up Washington, Andrews, and Barnes. So it wasn't just one air traffic controller what was monitoring it. There were three, and also there was a watchtower, a different one. I think it was Andrews, and they were using a shortwave um, uh, distance. But basically, three full proper air traffic controllers was monitoring it for hours and hours, and there was basically there was flying along, and then suddenly they were abruptly stopping and going again. They were going that fast they couldn't ascertain the speed of what they're going. But when they was monitoring them, they reckoned they were travelling like up to 900 miles per hour. But when they stopped and shot off again, they had no ideas the speed they were travelling. So they could be going thousands of it would instantly. They just didn't know, and that was fascinating. But the the blip on the radar, everyone they were following it. So it wasn't just a mistake by one air traffic controller. And the best thing about it didn't just happen for a few hours and happened for many days. It happened um, same. It started on 19th July, and again the following day happened same about the same time. And during the following day, these craft exactly same seven. There were gyro movements and all sorts of strange sort of like as if they're doing a show in the sky. They say, "Look, we're here." I suppose over Washington D.C. they want to make sure the president's seen them, don't they? There's no way. Like, we're here. We want to talk. And that's an I can think of anyway. But what else was they there for? And again, they didn't just move. The movement was slow, and then 900 miles per hour. Then suddenly, boom! And all seven of those bright orange objects were doing the same. And this went on up to again. I think it was 3 a.m. the first day, and I think it exactly the same. The second day and third day, and it was intermittent like this all week. It was um, but nobody knows. Again, all three air traffic controllers picked it up. On the second day, their their Air Force, American Air Force, sent a jet out to chase after it, and the pilot asked the control tower, "He's locked on. Can you fire at it?" Um, but I think this was the second day. I'm not sure if that was the second day or the last day, though. Because sometimes the story gets confused when it gets all put together. But we do know it was actually recorded. Not saying not just 1 or 2 days, it happened all week, and then the following weekend there was a finale. It wasn't just like as if you're doing a fireworks show. It was the full Monty were going off. It was um, that they were supposed to do patterns in the sky and flying around and doing all sorts of things. Exactly the same thing what they did the first night though, where they were travelling slow, stopping abruptly and then flying off, and the speed, they were going so fast they couldn't ascertain again the movement. They're just from A to B, and think, where'd that come from? But again, it wasn't a mistake on the radar stations, because 3 radar stations was following identical movements, and time the weeks out, they had people on the ground were seeing it, and it was in all the newspapers in America. And I think at the time, the American Air Force had to come out and did the largest um, explanation what they thought it would be, and they just put it, we don't know, unidentified, and that's what they put down. Even to this day, that's what gets me when they spoke about this thing in Washington. This never really got up. You think, well, you've got 3 radar stations, still got the records for them. How come they think, well, this is enough to say? I mean, I know they keep saying they've got an alien stuck in a cave somewhere. I don't know. Probably have. I don't know. But this surely would be enough to say to everybody, yeah, there's something out there. The 3 radar stations don't make a mistake for several hours and several days, and for thousands of people to see it on the ground. It's bizarre. Yeah, maybe we're just getting accustomed to hearing these stories. That's why I thought I'd do this little show, because just to show how many there really is. Because like if you you buy a book or something or whatever, there may be 5 or 6 in, but obviously there's thousands and thousands of cases, and that's what I'm trying to put across, which we all know really, don't we? But yeah, it was bizarre. Yeah, like I say, if you get a chance, I'm trying to think what's called. I'm looking now what you might have called it. I don't think they called it. I've just put 1952 Washington UFO incident. I think, yeah, probably. I think this is enough on it still. I tell you what is interesting though, the black and white pictures and things like that, because there was some taken, and there was another site in 1952 though, which was actual American Navy pilot took the photos. I don't know if this was the same time he took the photos, or we're doing. No, I think that was Michigan. I think about it. Yeah, but this was definitely well documented. Yeah, brilliant. I can imagine that. If it happened today, just say it happened today, over anywhere, Manchester, London, Philadelphia, anywhere, Berlin, wherever, and for 7 days, UFOs appeared. Gosh, there'd be meetings. I mean, surely they'd get together and say, we want to know who these are. Yeah, I guess they must have done in 1952, and then decided, oh, we've got things to do, let's get on with our lives. Which we do, don't we? Got to go to work and get some pennies. But and then you forget, but what are they? Who are they? I don't think these are human, definitely not. No, no. Something. Was they friendly? I don't think they was unfriendly. I mean, don't think they did do anything, did they? Except do a powerful show in the sky. But who knows? And I know it was recorded. President Truman at the time got interested in it. But do presidents really run the country? Prime ministers and presidents? I don't know. I don't think they do. I think there's other people run it. What we don't actually vote for. And they probably got interested in it, definitely. Well, they would, wouldn't they? But if you get a chance, have a look. It's brilliant. I'd say 3 traffic controllers followed them for several hours for several days and doing this awesome show in the sky. True story. Well documented. Hope you like it. Thank you. God bless.